Hi, I'm Ricc Rollins, and this is Going Places, and we want you to come along. Hi, I'm Ricc Rollins, and welcome to this edition of Going Places. I'm excited about this month of shows because we're telling her story all month long. That's right, we're celebrating Women's Awareness Month, and we'll be introducing you to some of the dynamic women who are making a difference in this community. Today's show is no exception. I get a chance to talk to two of my good friends. Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. It is Women's History Month, and I couldn't think of a better woman to start with than our own Laura Byrne. First of all, happy Women's History Month, Women's Awareness Month. We're glad you're with us.
Thank you.
And we have missed you.
All the other women out there. Oh, yeah. I know, miss you too. Life has been crazy, but I think that's pretty much been everybody across the board, right? Now that we're kind of getting back into the flow of things.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This morning I was watching you on something else that you were doing, and I said, you know what, I need to call you. Got my message immediately. Hey, we need to. So I'm glad you're with us. So Laura, how do you do all of this? You are a media personality, you're a publisher, you're a mom, you're a wife, you do it all. How do you do this?
I think the big thing is that I don't do it all, right? So it seems like I do a lot, but there are a lot of things that I want to do that are, we've talked about this so many times, that are on my to-do list that I just don't get to accomplish because you can't do everything. And I try not to let myself feel too guilty about that. A lot of moms, we're working, even not, stay-at-home moms, there's always the element of mom guilt, right? When you kind of have to step away, you want to do your thing for work. And then when you're at work or with the kids, you don't feel like you're getting stuff done for work. So that's the constant battle that I fight with myself every day. But I've tried to make myself kind of take a step back for a second and just say, it's okay, because I'm going to get done what needs to get done, right? And all the extras, that will be kind of the icing on the cake. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm tired. I think a lot of moms are exhausted. We're tired. It's been a very long 2 years with the pandemic on top of everything. But, I think that, just other moms out there, just for us realizing that it's okay, that it's not going to all get done. And, someone may look pretty busy, but we also don't know what's on the other side of that. Like,
right. So I hear you saying you give yourself permission to do it at your own pace.
Exactly. And, hey, like I said, that to-do list, it's always a mile long. And especially when it comes to work. And there's always, like today, for example, I had to take my little one out of school early because he had an ear infection. So we had to go to the doctor. So that's, hours of my day, my work day, that totally wiped out. So it's just, I definitely, and I think a lot of people feel like this, we're always in kind of catch-up mode. Yes. But even me, I'm still working on learning how to better manage my time. But sometimes that's hard because things happen.
They do. Life happens.
It happens, exactly. And that kids or no kids, life happens. Right. Things happen. Right. I think the past 2 years have taught us that.
I think you're right. I mean, one of the things that I know for sure is that if we don't give ourselves permission to breathe, we don't give our permission to live, then we miss out on life altogether. And you miss those moments. So like you said, the list is going to be there. It's not going to go away. There's this scripture that says, take no thought for tomorrow. Tomorrow takes care of itself. And I honestly have had to adopt that as, even as a single male, but all the things I do, all that stuff that's on the list, including this show. And so you just can't. And it's ironic that you said it's just recently that I got to this place that it's okay. It didn't get done today. It's there tomorrow. I have my list. I transfer it from the Monday folder to the Tuesday folder.
Because at some point it's got to get done, right?
Exactly. So I think that's one of the things that has to happen. So now we know that we see you on TV everywhere.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just, sporadically every now and then. Yeah.
Let me tell you, every time I see you, and it's not on Going Places, I get a little attitude. I'm just going to be honest, but I'm glad that we have you back. I really have missed you.
Oh, yeah. It's life is crazy. And, especially with the magazine, with the there's so many new things coming on board and it's exciting. You know, we've had this like 2 year kind of, maybe not full 2 years, because things were a little bit different here in Florida, as
Yeah.
you know, through the
Mhm.
pandemic, but
Yeah.
a lot more things are beginning to happen. Festivals are coming back. We have
Yeah.
a lot of new exhibits happening. So that's kind of kept us busy from that perspective. And, you know, hey, you're looking at the video department right here and the editing, you know. So, I mean, I do have a wonderful team that surrounds me. And I think that's something else. And you and I have talked about this as well.
Yes.
You got to
Yes. Yes.
surround
Yes.
yourself with good people and building that team. And I don't do it all on my own. I have a wonderful team of at the magazine, and of course my husband. And
Yes.
it takes teamwork. It
It
really
does.
truly does, because you
As
can't,
we said,
do it
it
alone.
makes the dream work. If you do
It
not have a
does.
team of people, I mean, and I don't care,
Yeah.
and you don't have to have a big team. You just have to have a good team that
Exactly.
does great things.
Yeah.
I'm with you on
Yep.
that. I really am
Yep.
on that. So
Find your people for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. You know, you gotta have people that that not only have your back, but also have your vision. Because if they don't have
Exactly.
your vision, then why are they there? You know,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
that's one of the things that I really look at. And I've told you time and time again, you're one of my sheroes, because
Oh,
you really do manage to do, maybe not all, like we said in the beginning, but you do
yeah.
your stuff and you get your stuff done and you do it well. So I
Thank
you know, kudos.
Well, I couldn't do it
Yeah,
without my team, honestly. I
yeah.
really, truly couldn't. Just wonderful people who are supporting the business, supporting me here at home, the neighbors, friends, family, like all of it.
It's got to be
All of
about
it.
your village. You got to have
Yeah.
a tribe. You got to have a
Yep.
village. You really
Mhm.
do. So we've talked about the personal side of Laura Byrne. When we come back, I want to talk about this month's issue of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, which of course, we just believe in all the way around here. And I want to talk about the places that you think we should go when we come back right after this. More Going Places with the one and only Laura Byrne right after this.
Hi, I'm Arlene. Welcome to Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. What's your coffee saying? Whether in for business or just getting away, let Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks be a part of your day. Life is moving, visible with color, sound, and community. Enjoy a cup of coffee at Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks. Enjoy life one cup at a time.
Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. My very special guest is my very dear friend and really one of the greatest correspondents we could have ever asked for, Laura Byrne. She tells us where to go. She tells us what to do. She's not bossy. She just tells us what to
No,
do.
I just share the fun stuff, right?
Exactly. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk first about the magazine. Let's start there. What's this issue about?
Oh, well, speaking of new things to do, right? Our March issue features Zoo Tampa. A lot of new things going on over at the zoo. They've got the Florida Wilds area that they have expanded, and it's so cool. So when we were there for the photo shoot, they were just putting the finishing touches on everything, but this is going to be awesome. It's a way it's a lot of shade, by the way, so I know it gets pretty hot in the summertime. So it's great to push the stroller, even just stroll with your honey when you're going to the zoo. But it's a way to get up close to the Panthers, the 3 resident Panthers there. They are not able to go back into the wild because they've had some injuries. So they have called Zoo Tampa home, but you just get so up close, like the cover, you're right, the glass the screen right there, and you can just be right almost nose to nose with a Panther, Florida Panther. It's just really incredible.
We'll have to let Jeffrey do that. We'll definitely.
Oh yeah, right. But it's just it's really, they do such a great job over there providing experiences for families to really connect with the animals, and it's really pretty magical, I think, for sure.
Wow, I'm so proud of Zoo Tampa. I think that it is one of, I won't even call it a hidden treasure, but you think it morphed from Lowry Park into what it is now. And I
Now
mean,
they're on National Geographic, right? Or on Disney Plus or Nat Geo Wild, and the new season is right
exactly.
now. So that's so exciting. Secrets of the Zoo.
Kudos to Zoo
Yeah.
Tampa. And Zoo Tampa, you better let Jeffrey back in soon. But, okay, so we talked about Zoo Tampa. Where else should we go? Well, no, what else is, no, we were talking about the magazine. I'm sorry. I'm just excited to have you back.
Oh, no, gosh, no worries. Listen, our March issue, we are talking about things to do for spring break around town, a lot of new things to do. And of course, it has our summer camp guide as well. So that's the big thing. The next few months, we're going to be sharing all the different summer camps around town. And there are so many varieties of camps that you can book. But as far as things to do, it's not just spring break. This can be any time of year. And one of the most exciting things, I think, for our area is the addition of a new theme park, right? So Florida hasn't had a new theme park in quite a while. So Peppa Pig theme park. And this is a park, Peppa Pig, right next door to Legoland, Florida. So you can do 2 parks in the same day. It's a separate ticket, or you can buy a combo ticket as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
But just a really cool experience. And it's the world's first Peppa Pig theme park. And it's designed for little kids, for the preschoolers. But the big kids can go as well. I took my kindergartner and he had the best time. So lots of rides, big splash pad, which is always a necessity in Florida because it is so hot. And it's an awesome splash pad, may I add.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's Peppa Pig. I guess because my daughter's older, I didn't get a chance to experience Peppa Pig.
You didn't pick up the British accent from the cartoon, right? Like all the little kids have as they're watching it. But yeah, it's really adorable. And kids can ride their first roller coaster there. That's what my little guy did. They can ride on rides that are made just for them, or they can ride on their own, or maybe they can ride with a parent if they're not quite ready to take that step. But it's just a really cool park, and really cool that it's right here in our backyard. And the fact that it's the world's first is
creating
awesome.
Memories. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
That's one of the things that we really want people to do here at Going Places, is to create memories and then look at the way, look at that child, see it through the eyes of your child again, see it through the eyes of your grandchild. It's amazing. Okay, so we got Peppa Pig, we got Zoo Tampa. Okay.
Yeah. So also, over at the Dolly in St. Petersburg, if you have an artsy kid, or maybe just an artsy significant other or a friend, I would definitely head to the Dolly because they have the Picasso Allure of the South exhibit. And what's so cool about this is they have more than 70 pieces of work. So we have paintings, we have the collages, we have sketches, we have photographs from his life. And it's cool because half of these works of art have never been on display in the United States. So what you are seeing is really, truly unique. So definitely something to do. You do want to book your reservation in advance to make sure that you secure that time, but I highly recommend it. And if you do have kids, they have activities that you can do on the first floor that's themed along with Picasso, but of course the Dolly as well. But I love going to the Dolly, and then it's not too far of a walk, and then walking down over to the St. Pete Pier and just really enjoying your day down.
So you can make a day of it and have a really great time.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow, that is
and
really...
then also, a little further south, by the way, speaking of gorgeous outdoors, the Dino Don's Dino Ventures exhibit. Now, this has been on display for the past couple of months, but you've got a limited time because the last day is March 18th. But it's a Dino Don's Dino Ventures. It's at the Bishop in Bradenton, which is a science museum there. But the dino part, it's all outside, but it's cool because it's all animatronic dinosaurs. So they're moving and they're roaring. But also it's cool. It was created by this guy named Don Lessem. So he is a dinosaur expert. This guy has consulted on
Dino Don.
Oh, yes, exactly. So, he has a dinosaur named after him that you can see at the Lessosaurus, that you can see at this exhibit. Yeah, so he's kind of a big deal. But the big thing for him was making sure that the dinosaurs there were true to what they think they look like back in the day. Because some exhibits, he says that they oversize the dinosaurs just to make it more exciting to see. But these dinosaurs are as close as what they possibly can be to what they were in real life. So I thought that was kind of cool. And one other thing he pointed out, do you remember that scene in Jurassic Park, the velociraptors are chasing the kids around the kitchen, right? So they're big, right?
Right.
Well, apparently they were only the size of like a poodle.
What?
Yeah, who knew? Jurassic Park got that wrong, and he tried to fight it. But they can't put, toddlers in a dinosaur costume and chase people around a kitchen, right? So they had to be a little bit bigger. So, obviously Hollywood puts its spin on things, but Yeah, it's a really cool exhibit. It's only going to be around for a limited time, but it's something that you can do outside or go see the museum, and of course head to the beaches there in Bradenton because they're so beautiful. So something to definitely make a day trip out of.
Okay, you've got one more thing to tell us about, and I'm going
I
to make them wait until the break. We'll be back with more Going Places with the one and only Laura Byrne right after this. Stay with us.
Listen, Disney World, they have got a new, we talked about only thing in the world, like with Peppa Pig, or the only theme park. Well, this is the only experience like this in the entire world. It's the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. So it's part hotel, part immersive movie set type. I mean, it's an incredible experience. So it's a 2-night stay. Now, listen, it's expensive. Okay. There's no getting around that. It's, I think, about $5,200 a starting price.
Laura, my hearing aid went out. How much?
5,000 something. Yes, it's more than $5,000 for a room for 2 adults and 1 child. I know. And then of course it goes up from there. That's just the starting rate. So that's for 2 nights. I know it's so expensive. It's going to price a lot of people out, but this is why it's expensive. And I'm not defending Disney here. I mean, it is a lot. They can charge it.
You pay for experience. Let's be true. The truth is that we pay for experiences. You pay for experiences all the time.
And that's what you're doing here. So it's a 2-night stay, and you're boarding the Starship Halcyon, and you're completely immersed in your own Star Wars movie. It's incredible. So it's not, how they have these rides, the immersive rides, where you feel like you're in the movie for like a couple of minutes. Well, this is like
2 days.
Yeah. So you go in, and what I loved that the Disney Imagineers, they were kind of describing it, and they were like, even for adults, like, this is your permission to play. So let your guard down when you go. Get involved. Talk to the characters because they are there. You got to get to know them. You're becoming a part of the story. Are you going to go side of the resistance, or maybe the First Order, or help hide a stowaway? There are so many different things as part of the story that will evolve and unravel over the next 2 days. And it's just everything there. They use the technology. That's so cool. You get this data pad, which is through an app, and you're communicating and texting with some of the characters that you're meeting along the way. What you do during that excursion to Batu at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, when you're on the ride on the Millennium Falcon, how that goes is going to play into your story. So it's just a really cool way to feel. Yeah, you really do feel like you're in a Star Wars movie. And you're choosing your own adventure through the whole path too, which is kind of cool. I mean, the families can divide up if they want to. Maybe half are going to go with the Resistance and half with the First Order. And you don't really have to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy it. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
That's what I was going to ask you. See, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you have to be a real, because this sounds cool, and I've never been that guy.
Yeah, it's I've seen the first Star Wars movie because I watched it with my kids, and then it was recommended. So if you do go, the whole entire thing is kind of set between episode 8 and episode 9. So I watched episode 8 the night before, just to kind of get in. It did help a few things make sense for me, but I haven't seen all of the movies, so I'm sure there were things that were lost to me along the way. But it was still really just fascinating how they have taken, the attention to detail that Disney has been coming out with on some of these
Disney, though.
It's incredible. It really, truly is.
Disney is a master.
They seriously, truly. And, they kind of said it's, like I said, your permission to play, but they've created something that's for people who love Star Wars, but also for people who love Star Wars.
Wow.
So you kind of cover all the bases here, but you're playing. There are like games essentially when you're in the bridge and you're protecting the ship with the shields and protecting it from lasers. And it's like the old school video games, like, oh gosh, I can't remember, Galactica, is that the name?
Oh, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, so it's kind of where you're kind of, it's very easy to figure out for all ages, I think. So like the little kids who are really into the cool gaming nowadays will appreciate it, to the adults and the grandparents who the games of old times will appreciate it as well. But it was just a really cool, incredible experience. And if you can afford it, and you like Star Wars, I would definitely recommend doing it. And if you're curious about it, hey, just look at the pictures and the video and just say, hey, wow, that's kind of cool.
And the person that I'm introducing you to is no stranger because you see her every week. She starts off with, "Hi, I'm Arlene. What's your coffee saying?" None other than the proprietor of Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks, the CEO of Jazz Under the Stars with the Z, and
Yes.
Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks Entertainment, LLC, my dear friend, it's Arlene Brooks. Welcome.
Hi, Rick.
So glad you're here. We're going to have you back again later in the month because I want to talk to you more in detail. But I want to just give people an idea of how you got to this place. You were in corporate America, and you decided that you wanted to do something else. How did Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks come into fruition?
Well, Rick, again, thank you again for this opportunity to sit and chat. Everything around Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks, fruition and how it grew and how it came is all because I lost my mom. I lost my mom in 2016, and I wanted to have a memory of my mom every day. So waking up to the smell of coffee is what did it for me. That gives me my memory of my mom. Because when I was a kid growing up, you'd be asleep, but you could smell coffee in the house. And I knew then my mama was up. Time for me to get up and get downstairs and get myself going. So that is how the Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks came. God gave me Coffee Speaks in January 12th, 2017. A year later, same date, I got Tea Talks.
Wow.
And the only thing different that I added in there is the letter N. But everything was God-given when I asked God to give me an idea.
Okay, so you open the coffee house. I'm full disclosure, Arlene is my equitable partner, but at the same time, she's also one of my best friends. She's one of my sister friends. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all might as well get used to seeing people that I call my sisters, that are my sheroes. That's what we're doing all month long, is we celebrate the women who keep me lifted. They're my village. I'm trying to get my daughter to agree to do the show as well. But one of the things that I love about you, the coffee house didn't just poof magically happen. There was some moments when it didn't look like it was going to happen, but you held on until it did. So November 2019, we open up.
Yes.
So now think about the timing, folks. 2019, and then March of 2020.
COVID.
And everything started having, the coffee house was new. Now, up to then, there had been such successes, right, Arlene? There had been successes, jazz on the weekends. We started with
It was amazing.
It was every weekend. You know, we were up to our elbows in charcuterie every weekend. And then COVID happens. And you and I are having a conversation one day, and you say, and we said, there's got to be a way. And what did you say?
I probably said a whole lot, Rick. Are we talking about when we came back? Or
when we came back? Because we never really left.
We never really left. We got shut down only because they said we had to close.
Right.
But when we came back, what I said to you was, Rick, I said, we got to find a way to get people to the coffee shop or get them in the parking lot, because even then you couldn't come inside when they allowed us to open back up. It was get them into the parking lot and what we were going to do that. And we came up with an idea, pivoting during the pandemic. And we came up with Jazz Under the Stars, in and around your cars.
Yes. Yep. And
it has grown from that to where it's at now with Jazz Under the Stars with a Z, because I wanted to be separate and different. And that's where and how things have moved to where that piece of the business or Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks Entertainment now is a different company, separate and apart from Coffee Speaks and Tea Talks itself.
And so what I want people to understand, where Arlene is sitting, Arlene used to do her daily corporate job. Her then boss was really amenable. Did I say amenable? Amenable.
Yeah, one of those.
To being able to work out of there, and then something happened.
A great thing happened.
Yeah. Share that with them, because there's somebody that needs to hear that. As the kids like to say, I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody needs to hear
needs to hear this.
Who needs to hear this today? Go ahead.
So the one thing about us as a people is that we don't quit.
We're resilient.
We're resilient in making sure we complete the project.
Yep.
So everything with me, what happened was I first was able to retire from corporate America, but I got a major, major lift by being present. And being present in is paying attention to emails, texts, and things of that nature that was coming. Did I say Texas right? Was that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
text. I
Text.
think it's
Yeah.
text.
Yeah.
Yeah, that long S. And my Hillsborough County contact, Jeanette Blanco, sent me a text that said the RRF was coming open and that she wanted me to apply for it. Now, mind you, I had did a lot of things with Hillsborough County
They had not come.
before
Mm-hmm.
and didn't get anything. And or when I did get an approval for the loan, by the time you could get the money, it was all gone.
Gone, yeah.
But and I didn't feel like, well, hey, this might not work. And she convinced me to do it. I did it. I was able to get the RRF, which sustained my life and sustained the life of the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been able to completely resign corporate America and do the things that I love and enjoy it.
Okay, and y'all know me. I'm doing this while I'm at work, so I had to look and see if there's somebody there. Real quick, Arlene. So where we are now, and this is what we want to talk about, because like I said, her story is too great to cram into one segment, but I wanted to do this so that we could promote the fact that Jazz is back.
Jazz is back.
So let's tell them about that, and then we're going to talk more with you in the weeks to come.
Okay, so Jazz is back at Avalon Park, Wesley Chapel. The location is moved slightly past from the clubhouse to a bigger space, a parcel of land located behind the Pinecrest Academy and Trinity Church on Highway 54 or State Road 54 in Wesley Chapel. So that starts up March 19th, the third Saturday of March. And our first opening band. So we're bringing things in a better scale or a larger scale. We're bringing bands this year as we look and approach of bringing larger festival and then creating something on a national level. But we're bringing the Soul Purpose Band on March the 19th. That's featuring Jay Singleton here at the location there, the 33501 State Road 54. And that's partnered with Avalon Park. Which is a major partner of ours.
Okay, real quick, because the clock is ticking. Tell them about the other two things that they can come to the coffee house and do.
Well, two things at the coffee house you can do is our Poets Cafe. We do that on the first Thursday night of each month, starts at a 7-Eleven, and tickets are 7-Eleven. You have to do a reservation only because we don't do anything at the door and they sell out fast. Also, the first Saturday of the month, we do Jazz After Dark, which is coming this upcoming Saturday. And you also have to call to make reservations for that. It's either $40, it includes 2 entrees, complimentary glass of wine, or $20 with only your complimentary glass of wine and the artist for the night.
Okay, well, that was my alarm saying that we're out of time. But Arlene, like I said, I really want to sit with you in the weeks to come, and we're going to tell more of your story, okay? You can watch encore presentations of Going Places every Saturday and Sunday morning at 5 a.m. If you're not up, set your DVR so you don't miss a moment. Remember, you can get copies of Tampa Bay Parody Magazine online and where great magazines are sold. And I hope you'll join Arlene under the stars. We'll see you back here next week as we continue to tell her story. For everyone here at Going Places, we're always glad you joined us for the journey. Take care.